Welcome to Northern Lights. I'm Dwain.
I'm Mark.
And today we're going to do our UFC 275 predictions. So I'm quite excited for UFC 275, but I feel like it's going a little bit under the radar. I feel like it's quite a quiet card. You don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Do you think it's a bit underrated?
I don't know about underrated. I think it's just how spoiled we've been for the past however long. This is the first time for a while on the card where a lot of people are only because you've got two title fights and an absolute cracking rematch as well, and they're the only fights people are talking about because it looks like that's the only treat that you're getting. But I think that's I guess that because you have got two title fights on the line.
Yeah, it's still a lot, isn't it? And Joanna versus Zhang's probably going to be a title contender. So it's still really... I was
going to say, you get your rematch of your favourite, don't you?
Exactly. But talking of my favourite, let's just start with that fight then. We'll talk about Joanna versus Zhang Weili 2. How do you feel that's going to go this time around, Mark?
I feel it's going to be Zhang by decision. But... people's expectation levels are so high because of how good the last fight was, and that was over 2 years ago now. Yeah, I can imagine it to be a little bit more sort of slower, a little bit more just feeling each other out a little bit more, because don't forget that was a 5-rounder. Yeah, for the last one. I think it'll just be Zhang by decision, maybe even just a very lackluster fight almost, to be quite honest with you. I think they'll both be a little bit cautious. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm feeling the same, because, I'm a real Zhang Weili fanboy, I love it a bit. But, their last fight was 5 rounds. And this time, like you said, it's only 3 rounds. And, I think they've both took each other's best hits and they've not been knocked out from it. So it's unlikely we're going to get a finish. I think it's going to be a methodical 3-rounder. And I feel like Zhang Weili's improved a lot more as a fighter. Like, her wrestling's a lot better now. Her striking's better. She's physically stronger. Whereas we don't know what level Joanna's at. Maybe she's amazing. Maybe she's just been training nonstop for 2 years and she's going to come out like a monster. But I don't think that's going to happen. It may actually be a submission. I think Yang may get a submission in the 3rd round, but it's probably going to be a split decision.
I can picture that. I think just when how good the last fight was, that's what everyone's last memory is of these two. So you think this fight is going to be absolute cracking. This is the rematch. How many times have you seen it before where there's an absolute cracking fight and then the rematch is terrible?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know about terrible. Maybe that's a strong word, but I don't think it's going to live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
But yeah, end of the day, I'm going Zhang by decision.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go the same. And next, we've got Valentina versus Teixeira Santos. I can't lie, I don't know a lot about Teixeira Santos, but I know she's got a good record. I think it's like 19-1. She beat Joanna Wood and Roxanne Modafferi and Molly McCann a few years ago. But Molly McCann a few years ago is a completely different animal, isn't it? So she's got a good record on her, and but I don't see her beating Valentina. She's a very well-rounded fighter. She's great on the ground, great striker as well. But Valentina is great at everything and probably better at everything. So it seems unlikely she's going to get the win here. So I'm going to go Valentina. It's hard with Valentina because she can win in any match.
Do it all,
yeah, she can literally do it all. I'm going to say TKO round 2, but it'd be like before, it's kind of like in a crucifixion, she's just wailing on her or something.
All right, it's going to be that specific then, is it?
Well,
that's what she did to Jessica Andrade, wasn't it?
Yeah, she dominated that fight.
Well, I always think whenever there's Valentina fighting, it's the same as what happened before with Nunes. It doesn't matter who the name is. If you just heard Valentina's fighting, you think it's going to be Valentina by murder then. Yeah. We kind of cast off like whoever it is, the other fighter, which, I mean, obviously we've been proved wrong before, but she is just that good.
Yeah.
Because she dominates though, doesn't she? Like her last fight was Lauren Murphy, wasn't it? And even she said to her coaches after, she says, I think that girl just kicked my ass. Like, and she did. She just battered her everywhere.
Well, Laura Murphy was just a decimation, wasn't it? She was literally just stood there getting wailed on. I thought, put your hands up at least do that.
I mean, we've got I know this was 3 years ago now, I believe, the Jessica Eye devastating knockout, that head kick knockout, which is still one of my favorite knockouts ever.
Yeah,
that was just almost scary. And I'm not sure if she'll be able to do this again. You know what? I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to say Valentina by decision.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Valentina, obviously.
Valentina, yeah.
but by decision, I don't know if she's going to get it done.
But that's what level Valentina's at, isn't it? Like, you've said decision, and I'm shocked. I'm like, what, you think it's going to be a decision? Don't be crazy. But, you could do, and that's the thing, isn't it? We thought this about Nunes. We're like, Nunes is untouchable, and Juliana Pena battered her. And I was like,
yeah, that was
a shock.
Like, in the crash, in the press conferences leading up to it, and you fought nobodies, and you're thinking, what is she on about? Yeah. And then the biggest upset in UFC history, I think. And it could well happen this Saturday. It Definitely. Could well happen. Yeah. But we will talk more about that in our bets and last minute predictions later on this week. So that leads us into the main event.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. Is that how you say his surname? I'm not. Prochazka. That's it. Prochazka. It's a really difficult one with Yuri versus Glover because Yuri's so fast and strong. He's younger, and I think he's probably technically a better fighter than Glover. But Glover's got a lot of experience, and he's better on the ground than Yuri. And he's a beast, isn't he, Glover? He's just this monster. So he'll just walk someone down. But I don't know if he can do that with Yuri. It's a hard one. It's really, really down the middle for me. But I think I'm going to go Glover submission, third round, something like that. That's where I'm going to go.
Very specific, yeah.
Specific.
To be honest, this is the turmoil that Dana puts us UFC fans through almost every card. I'm battling between my head and my heart right now because, my heart wants Glover. I want the old man's strength to be able to do it, get a dark title defense, gets one more fight, and then retires, goes off into the sunset while he's just shooting with his cowboy hat on the back of a horse. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But my head can see Yuri battering him. I think not just like my prediction straight away, but just in the sense of how quick, like you say, and how you've seen his last knockout at Dominic Reyes. That was brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then Glover, he's been knocked out before as well, but he's also beaten some of the absolute best. You remember him dismantling Anthony Smith, dismantled Thiago Santos. Jan Blachowicz, I don't even think Jan Blachowicz showed up in that fight.
That Anthony Smith fight still sits with me now. When I think about him sat in the corner going, I think my teeth have fallen out. Oh, it's horrible. It literally sits with me today. Like, oh, gross. I think about it every time I see him. But yeah, sorry.
Obviously, he's been beat before, obviously, but and we don't really know too much about him, but it's just that sort of scary train that's coming through, and I'd hate to even utter the words, but I think Yuri by finish. I think he could finish Glover.
He really could, and you're probably right. I think that's probably what will happen, but I feel for Glover, even when he's rocked, he's still very dangerous. Like, we've seen him, who was he fighting? I don't remember, but he got rocked, he fell to the floor, the guy was on top of him, he turned him round, wailed on him, and submitted him. So you think even when he's in danger, Glover's very dangerous. But a big problem is he very much plods forward. He walks you down, puts his hands up, and he's just going to, box away at you. And the thing is, Yuri's too unpredictable and too strong. So it really, but one thing when we talk about Dominic's fight, the last fight with Dominic Reyes got Yuri down 2 or 3 times. And I think Glover's got a better ground game than Dominic does. So if Glover can break that distance and get hold of him, especially with Yuri's big high kicks, he's got all of his hips exposed and he could go down very easy in that way. So that's why I'm going submission. But
overall, I 100% get that. I want the old man's strength to do it, though.
Yeah. But I think overall, I think it's going to be an exciting card. I really can't wait for it. If anyone's around on the night, we'll be doing live reactions. So if you want to check us out, come say hello. I think that's all we've got time for. So thanks everyone for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help us out.